What's up, guys? It's Professor Gnome, and today I'm going to be bringing a little bit of a random deck that I've been constructing. I talked to somebody in the comments about it kind of a while ago. It's taken me a bit to figure out how to kind of get this concept to work, but today we're going to be looking at Zapdos EX and pairing it alongside Iron Valiant EX. I want to do a small little series where I take some cards that either aren't very good or kind of went under the radar and try to use them as effectively as I can and construct something with them. So give me some ideas on that, or like how to title this series, because I'm not totally sure yet. But the concept of this deck, what we're going to look to do is utilize Iron Valiant's EX's ability, Tachyon Bits, to drop damage counters onto benched Pokemon in order to utilize our multi-shot lightning attack. So we can attack for 120 and then deal 90 damage to a Pokemon that's on our bench, as long as, or on our opponent's bench, as long as they have damage counters on them, which we can set up with Iron Valiant. The easiest way to power this up, because unfortunately, this attack, even though it doesn't do a ton of damage, costs 3 electric energy or lightning energy, and so we're going to combo that with Electric Generator to try to speed things up, and then in the earlier mid-late game, be able to use Medicham to ping off an extra target, and Radiant Alakazam if we have to move damage counters around. We have to play the standard stuff that every Iron Valiant deck plays, so a ton of switch cards in order to get things to rotate. We also play one copy of Devolution, since the biggest issue and hurdle using Zapdos is that it just doesn't do enough damage. So you're kind of left in a situation where high HP EXs take like 3 hits to knock out, so you're going to need to just de-evolution and break them down that way in order to deal with it. And where this deck is actually has a oddly good matchup is into things like Lost Zone stuff that you can just drop, like ping off all their Comfeys and Cramorants and like Sableyes. You can actually benefit pretty hard in like matchups like that, or things like if you get a good hand against Charizard, you can kind of pop off early by pinging off all their Charmanders and things like that. So this is the list, guys. Definitely let me know what changes and adaptations you'd make to it. It was definitely hard to get Zapdos to work, and yeah, so I figure we'll jump in, just have some casual fun, trying to make some kind of bad cards look a little good, or try to get them to work. But I'll see you in the game, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you like this kind of idea, or if this is content that you kind of want to see more of, just having some fun, messing around with some different decks and cards while we wait for the new set to come out. But yeah, we'll get into the game. See you there. Alright, we're into the game. Our opponent's going first. We open Alakazam. Not amazing. But we open a booster capsule, a couple of energies, and an electric generator. We are against Lost Zone. That's not bad for us, actually. It's probably one of the most favorable matchups in like the relevant main meta decks, I would feel like. They go Ultra Ball. I feel like this comes down to like what we get off the Colress. If we get an okay Colress draw, then like we actually could pop off here, because we already have the generator, 1 energy in hand. So if we get like if we get 2 hits off the generator, then like massive. Then really all we need is like 1 Iron Valiant rotation, and then if we only get 1 hit off the generator, then we just need to find 1 more, which shouldn't be too hard to do. There's a flower selecting. What did they get rid of? Another Comfey. Okay, so maximum 3 in play possible. I feel like that wasn't a good idea. Okay, didn't like seeing that. Obviously I want as many energy in the deck as possible, so that's not ideal. Nest Ball, Electric Generator. I think this is the hand I have to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Squawk down, I'm going to play the Nest Ball down, I'm going to grab myself the Zapdos. I'm going to attach 1 energy. I'm going to Electric Generator. Get 1 hit. Shuffle. Electric Generator. 2 more hits. We're going to leave that energy in the deck. Now what we can do is we can discard with Squawk. Get ourselves a new hand. VIP Pass. Get ourselves double Iron Valiant. Then we switch in Iron Valiant. Hold on, it's all coming together, boys. We switch in Iron Valiant. Drop the 20 onto Sableye. Then we switch cart. We go Zapdos. We attack, multi-shot lightning. Bam. And had that been another Comfey or whatever, doesn't matter. And then we take double prize. And then on our next turn, we got another Zapdos, so that's good. We can lay that down. And then we have a Switch Cart and a Colress experiment. But we'll probably just research. And then the other way that they combo pretty well is that you get free retreat thanks to Zapdos' ability. So we'll be able to retreat this naturally, go into Iron Valiant, and then switch card ourselves back in. So even if they play a Comfey down, or a Cramorant, or whatever it is, even if they go what would be super ideal, is if they play some form of supporter EX. They typically don't, but if they did and they played down something, I'm trying to think of any random support, like a Lumineon or something like that, it would be super, super huge for us. So what we can do here is that we'll manually retreat, go into Iron Valiant, place the damage onto Comfey, we'll switch cart, go back into our Zapdos, then we don't need any of this, so we can Professor's Research, grab ourselves another generator, and all of our switch cards that we need, get 2 hits off the generator. Our new Zapdos is essentially fully powered up, so now we can attack again, multi-shot lightning, take an extra prize card, and then we need 1 more attack to knock out the Giratina. Bam, there's the last lightning energy that we need. Actually popping off. This is the power of this deck, where it's like, I want to say this is maybe one of the most coin flip decks out there that I've played in a long time, outside of like maybe the Porygon video that I did before, where it's like, that actually relies on a coin flip, but outside of that, it's fine. This is just like, you pop off crazy hard against certain matchups. It's like, specific matchups, you just kind of body them, but if you don't run into these matchups, then you just kind of lose. Let me make sure that my damage is right. Yeah, 100. Okay. We'll multi-shot lightning here, knock this out, end the game. Had they placed anything on their bench, it would have been the same, situation. We could escape rope it back in. So that was going to be the game no matter what. Even if they went Giratina V-Star, it wouldn't have really mattered. But yeah, so that's going to be game 1, guys. Very, very happy that for the first game went so well. We'll look for 1 more. But yeah, so it's definitely very, very fun. Very, very interesting little concept. I'm happy with how the deck's coming out. Definitely needs some adjusting and some improving. So let me know what changes you guys would make, or some edits that you would make to the deck. We'll get into game 2 in a second, but I would love this to be like a little our first little community deck that we all kind of just pitch in and make something better out of. So try out the list. Let me see what your ideas are on it. It'd be a really fun idea, I think, to just have kind of like a community build. But yeah, so we'll get into game 2. Appreciate it. See you in the game 2. Alright, we're into the next game. Our opponent's going first. We open a pretty decent open, actually. Pretty excited for this one. We'll see what our opponent's playing. They have the Dark Sleeves. It could be Roaring Moon. Roaring Moon be a little bit hard to deal with. But they do play Squawkabilly, and we'll be able to punish that. They do play some basics like more Pico and things like that we're going to be able to punish. Ooh, and Brutal Bonnets. We're going to be able to punish that pretty hard. So that's exciting. We'll kind of just have to ignore the Roaring Moons, I think, is what the play is going to be here. And the actual nice thing is that if they have to Frenzied Gouging, then we'll be able to pick up knockouts on them as well. So that's going to be pretty big for us. The problem is that they're probably always going to be able to just Calamity Storm us down, because it's going to do enough damage to knock us out. So we're probably going to have to just Escape Rope around it and look for knockouts on Brutal Bonnets and like a Squawkabilly if they play that down. That's going to be our 4 prizes right there, and like a more Pico and something else, or maybe a single Roaring Moon knockout is what we'll look for. We have double generators, so I think we'll VIP. How do we... it depends on what we draw, but I think what we'll do is we'll VIP into a Zapdos and a Squawk, and then we'll Electric Generator onto the Zapdos, look for 2, like, either, you know, 1 generator for 2 hits, or, you know, a generator for 1, you know, 1 each or something like that is what we're hoping for. Then we can switch to rotate our Iron Valiant in. There's a more Pico, so that's another prize we can take easily. I think I want to get rid of the Iron, the Brutal Bonnets first, though. Yeah, so not much on their first turn. Ooh, there's the Zapdos already. That's pretty huge. So we're going to VIP pass first. Grab ourselves a Squawk and another Iron Valiant for now. And now that that's kind of shortened our deck slightly, we get double hit off the generator. Super sweet. 1 more gen. No, but that's fine because we're just looking for a single energy off the top deck anyway. At this point, we'll bring in the first Iron Valiant. Tachyon Bits onto that. Then we can Switch Cart, bring in the next one, put enough damage down onto that, and then we can Squawk for a full new hand. We get another switch and the single energy. So that's huge, actually. We have the Colress for another Electric Generator. That and an Electric Energy. I don't know if we really need that. We maybe could have grabbed something better off the... we could have grabbed something better, potentially, off our... off, like, grabbing that other VIP pass or something. But for now, what we're going to do, we'll attach that. We'll hold on to the Medicham. But we're going to Lightning Multi-Shot, take our 2 prizes right off the bat, get to an early lead. And we can set up for a second Zapdos now that we have Perfect. That was also why I don't want to play the Medicham down just yet. So that way, now we have an energy in hand, an Electric Generator. There's 1, 2, 3 energies on Zapdos, 1 in hand, which means there's 6 in deck. There's only 5 in deck, so we're going to have to... we'll probably miss the generator, I think, with these odds. Or maybe only get 1 hit, but that's fine. Because it doesn't look like we're in position to get knocked out. They can't use Vitality. There's no Dark Patches available. They can't Energy Switch. They can't Ultra Ball into a Squawk or like Nest Ball into a Squawk. If they play the Lumineon, they can't Nest Ball into it. Yeah, so there's nothing they can do. Alright, so that's pretty huge. Another energy off the top deck isn't super great. Well, Electric Generator, yeah, we aren't going to hit from that. But what we can do is we can naturally retreat, go into our Iron Valiant here, drop the damage down, switch, go back into our Zapdos, and multi-shot, taking the knockout, and this will set it up that they can no longer... there's another generator. That might be nice. They can no longer frenzy gouging us if they wanted to, and they are in range to be knocked out on the next attack. So that's pretty good. Even if they knock out our Zapdos, we go Iron Valiant, manually attach, look for an Electric Generator hit. After a Nest Ball to thin one more card, just increase our odds ever so slightly. We'll see if they drew into anything useful, but it seems like this game is over, which is pretty exciting. That'll be 2 quick, easy games. Kind of showing off how Zapdos can just abuse basics. And if you get either the right matchup... Alright, so there's the Ultra Ball. So they could go Lumineon for a research. But if they do that, then they're in a really bad position. You could go Greninja for one, like, if they have a Dark Energy in hand, to discard for 2 more. Curious to see what they grab here. Another Roaring Moon. Maybe they wanted Lumineon and it's prized, or maybe they just don't run it. And they just didn't have anything else to get. Because they got rid of the Switch, which I'm curious to know what the last card in their hand is then. Because I feel like, if anything, you would have kept... Oh, it's a collapsed. It's fine, I just got rid of the Squawk here. I feel like you would have kept the Switch then, discarded the Super Rod and the collapsed to get a new, like a new Mon, then you switch that into the active to prevent the knockout. Right? That would have been the better play to do. So we'll manually attach here. We'll Generator. Still no hit on that. Little unfortunate, but not the biggest deal in the world. We can manually retreat. Bring in our Iron Valiant. And then this game's over, whether we did anything or not, just because they have no hand, they have nothing to work with. We'll bring Zapdos back in, get another knockout. So we'll do a game 3, because these 2 games have been pretty easy and pretty fast. But also our opponents haven't really gotten the best openings or, you know, situations. Granted, in like the Lost Zone game, again, we were just able to abuse basics very, very easily, get ahead in a lead and kind of force the position. But I also think they didn't make the best choices. Then, though, like, even though with their cone phase, it wouldn't have mattered, because even if they put more down, we were just going to keep knocking those out. This is another situation where, unfortunately for them, they're kind of just stuck. We'll multi-shot Lightning here. You know, take the knockout and end the game. And it kind of, in this case, it just looks like they drew really poorly. And then us being able to take all the, you know, that many prize cards so quickly off their one prizers that they tried to wall us with, just worked out really well for us. But yeah, we'll do a game 3, because that one, that game was a little underwhelming, not even gonna lie. It doesn't really show off the power of this deck that it can have, just kind of shows that our opponent didn't play super great with the resources they did have, and they also didn't have the best resources available to them. So we'll go into a game 3, guys. See you there. Alright, we're into the 3rd and final game, where we actually have to go first this game. And thankfully, we grabbed ourselves a VIP in the open. Going first is kind of detrimental to this deck. We'll be able to manually attach an energy to a Zapdos, get ourselves a Squawk, and play the PokéStop. So we got an okay hand here for this. I don't love seeing 3 energy, though. in the open. So we'll grab ourselves one Zap, one Squawk. Play those down. Manually attach the energy to the Zapdos and Squawk here. See if we can find ourselves some options. We did find ourselves at least that. We'll play the generator. Unfortunately, don't get any hits off of it. We'll play one more Zapdos for now, and then we'll PokéStop. We got ourselves some options, so that's at least pretty good. We'll retreat, go into our first Iron Valiant, place the damage counters down onto the Brutal Bonnet here. I think that's the play that we want to make. Then we can retreat, go into the next one. We'll place the other 20 damage down so that way that's activated. And then I think we hold on to the Escape Rope for now. We could Escape Rope, go into the Zapdos, and so that already has an energy attached to it. But I think it's fine to kind of hold off for now. Keep that in hand and then see, you know, what else they do and like kind of where else they go from here. Interesting that they played down the double Bidoof. But that's fine for me because the more that they put on the bench, the easier it's going to be to play around the Roaring Mooney X. We already have one thing that we can target down with, you know, our multi-shot. So, potentially... Oh, Hoopa. That's pretty interesting, the Energy Crush attack. We'll see what they decide to put into the active. But I feel like we'll probably PokéStop first. See what we end up with, and then we can... No, I think it's better to just Professor's Research right away. Alright, there's the other energy capsule. So I think we'll retreat here. Bring this into the active. Then we'll start to wear... I think we'll put the damage on this one for now. Then what we can do is we can Escape Rope. See what they bring into the active. Because it all depends. Because the problem is Zapdos just won't do enough damage to knock either of these out in, you know, one attack, no matter how many times we like rotate Iron Valiants around. So, and like this can just Calamity Storm us over and over. So we don't really get anywhere from putting the damage counters on. It's not like we're going to be in a position to really help ourselves all that much. We're going to grab ourselves the Radiant, though. We're going to hold on to TM for Devolution. Mostly because what we can do is take a couple, like, larger knockouts off. Alright, cool. So we got one extra energy in play this turn. It'd be nice if we had another way to draw, but we don't. Yeah, we'll just Escape Rope for now. What we're going to do is try to rack up enough damage on those Bidoofs that when they do decide to evolve, We could always de-evolution for multiple prize cards later. So we'll put 20 down on these just for, you know, the current moment. That way, when they evolve into a barrel, we can also get an attack off and deal with it that way. But we'll have to wait and see. Okay, perfect. So there's the barrel. It's only at 100 health, so we only need one Iron Valiant rotation to put the last damage counters on that. Then we'll get that knocked out. And we only need one more energy on Zapdos. Or if it comes down to it, we can do 2 Iron Valiant rotations. Yeah, that might be what we do. We could do 2 Iron Valiant rotations, put enough damage counters on this, and then just kind of let it sit there. Look for a regular attack onto Roaring Moon EX. And look for damage onto the Brutal Bonnet to set up enough situations that later on in the game, if we choose to de-evolution, we can de-evolution for 3 prizes. And kind of snag the game out that way. I think it's going to be the easiest path to victory. So we're not going to be able to draw anything, so we'll just go ahead and PokéStop. Got ourselves a Lost Vacuum. That could be theoretically useful. We'll Switch Cart, bring in the main Iron Valiant. We'll just start stacking up damage onto the one on the back. So we'll retreat, go into this one. Put another... So that's in de-evolution range. Then we can switch, go into this one. And... perfect. So now on our next turn... Really, this is just showing Iron Valiant. Unfortunately, we're not able to... In this turn, we weren't able to get into our Zapdos. Alright, that's pretty good, because... we'll put the Zapdos that we don't really care about. We could have Lost Vacuumed away this to force them to have to go for like a Frenzied Gouging or something. That actually would have been better. There's the energy booster capsule too. That's pretty rough. But it's not really that big of a deal. Because what we're going to look for is the Escape Rope to push this out of the active anyway. And we're just going to play around knocking out all of his bench single prizers. And trying to like put damage on this slowly. I think is going to have to be our play. So we'll go Zapdos to open. So we get the free retreat. Nest Ball. Don't really need that. We'll just put the other Iron Valiant in play. And then we can free retreat. Go into this Iron Valiant. Put 20 down onto that. Then we can retreat. Go into this one. And then we'll put 20 damage there. Then we can Escape Rope. And we'll see what they put into the active. Because if they put something in the active that's going to get knocked out to de-evolution, and then they're going to be able to bring Roaring Moon back in, then we don't really want to go for it. Alright, that's better. So we'll take double knockout here. Hopefully get ourselves into... Yeah, we'll take the 2 knockouts here. and hopefully get ourselves one more energy off the prize cards. Perfect. That way we'll be able to attack on the next turn to be able to knock this out and that, and then all we'll have to do is either, again, ping off 2 bench Pokemon if he chooses to play them, or work around the Roaring Moon EX, which we can potentially do by, like, if he doesn't have the, you know, prize cards available to him, or not prize cards, sorry, if he doesn't have the stadium in play and he is forced to Frenzied Gouging, then whether we have Zapdos or not, it won't really matter, because we can finish the knockout with a Lost Vacuum and all of our Iron Valiants. So we'll see what we're able to get out of this. There's a Dark Patch. Sorry about that. So it looks... Oh, okay. I assumed... It doesn't look like he's going to be able to do anything. I guess he didn't hit a Switch or an Escape Rope. But I don't think Iron Valiant plays more than one of each. Or not Iron Valiant, sorry. Roaring Moon plays more than one of each, and he already has one in the discard. So Brutal Bonnet looks like it's just kind of stuck here, which is relatively good for me. The only negative is that I don't have the resources in order to like create a new Zapdos after this one is knocked out, which it is pretty much about to be. So what we're gonna have to do, so we'll multi-shot lightning here. We'll put the 90 damage onto the Eradicate. Take 2 more prizes, and then what we're gonna have to do is hope they don't play the stadium down. Or, alright, that works. I was going to say, or we're going to have to get into like a Nest Ball or something in order to make a new Zapdos and get lucky on a generator hit. If they don't have a stadium and they have to Frenzied Gouging, though, then we're totally fine. There's a Nest Ball, so still nothing. They could have an energy in hand, go Greninja. No, another Roaring Moon. Because we just Lost Vacuum away the booster capsule. Alright, so discarded the Vitality. Got themselves 2 more energy, so 2 energy in hand. The other 2 cards, we don't know what they are. It looks like he doesn't have it. Which, if that's the case, that's, you know, more than massive. That's ginormous. So that's the game. Kinda got lucky there. We were able to clutch out having to go first. Going first makes this deck a ton weaker. Oh, there's the... Let's see if we can make another Zapdos, though. Oh, we don't even have another one in deck. Oh, that would have been real bad. Alright, well, good thing that wasn't an issue. So, we'll VIP Pass. Or, we'll remove the VIP Pass, rather. We'll get rid of the Ancient Booster Capsule. And then we can just retreat here. Go into Iron Valiant. And put the other 20 damage down and end the game. So super, super, you know, clutch that they didn't have the stadium in play. Had they been able to knock out, had they been able to just use Calamity Storm and knock us out, then that would have been the game. We would have just lost, like, straight up. But we got a little lucky. We got bailed out a little bit, but, you know, sometimes that's going to happen. Having to go first really, really stunted our momentum, and then not getting the generator hit kind of hurt us as well, but it just is what it is. You know, not every game can go perfectly, but we were able to clutch it out. But yeah, so that's going to be the last game, guys. Definitely let me know what you kind of like of the idea or the concept of this being like a little bit of a series where I just kind of take odd concepts or, you know, unexplored or kind of trash cards, for a lack of a better term, and just kind of see what we can build with them and like have some fun, you know, try to see what the best decks we can kind of build with these kind of rogue concepts or, you know, random strategies. But yeah, definitely let me know what you think of the content and like kind of concept idea, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that other YouTube stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.